Welcome back to our channel, where we share updates and untold stories about Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her royal family. Today, we bring you some news. Furious King Charles and William strip Archie and Lilibet of royal titles after Harry's explosive interview. According to a source with knowledge of the situation, King Charles and Prince William have made a bold move against Prince Harry's children. This comes after Prince Harry, in his most recent interview, highlighted his children and expressed his desire to support the United Kingdom to reunite with the royal family. According to the source, Prince William and King Charles were presented with a request from Prince Harry for royal titles for his children. King Charles promptly responded with a surprising reaction, which left Prince Harry in a state of astonishment. This recent interview with the BBC, which took place on May 2, 2025, occurred in the aftermath of Prince Harry's unsuccessful court plea over the protection of UK security. He was candid about his feelings for the UK and how his exile affected his family. He expressed his regret by saying that he can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the United Kingdom at this point. He went on to explain that because of the security debate, it is for now impossible to bring them back to the United Kingdom in a secure manner. Harry has shown his admiration for his nation. In spite of this affection, the circumstances of the family ensure that his children will miss everything about their birthplace. I have always felt this way, but I have also accepted it as reality. He continued by saying, "It's really sorrowful that I won't be able to show my children my homeland." He was quite articulate in his statement. A desire for family reconciliation was voiced by him during the interview, and he said that it would be nice to reconcile with his father specifically. He observed that King Charles won't speak to me because of this security stuff, highlighting the gulf that is hampering their ability to communicate with one another. He has clarified it that he has a deep affection for the United Kingdom and a strong desire for peace and harmony. Following the court case that he lost in April 2025 about police protection, he said to the BBC, "I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back from the unknown." He conveyed the anguish that Archie and Lilibet won't be able to see their homeland, along with his longing for the United Kingdom. Major news sources consistently cite these statements. According to Reuters, Harry expressed his desire for family reconciliation with the following statement: "I would love reconciliation with my family. Life is precious." Additionally, Harry expressed his fear about safety by stating, "For now, it is impossible for me to take my family back to the UK safely." Similarly, publications like People and CBS News brought attention to Harry's statements that the youngsters will miss everything about Britain. What King Charles had to say back. This is the first time that King Charles III has made an official statement on Harry's interview or those statements about his homecoming. In general, the royal family adheres to a policy of quiet about things pertaining to private family affairs. Following Harry's loss in court in April 2025, the palace issued a short statement in which it just said that all of these issues have been examined repeatedly and meticulously by the courts. The statement exclusively spoke to the legal topic of security. In public, Charles did not provide a direct response to Harry's interview. According to a rumor that was derived from a tabloid via GB News, which cited The Sun, sources close to the king said that Charles was frustrated by suspicions that he isn't concerned about Harry's family. However, this is unsourced speculation and not an official reply. For instance, the only thing that was stated in the report of the interview by Reuters was Harry's complaint that his father won't speak to me because of this security stuff. There was no mention of any shock or DNA testing narrative. For now, Buckingham Palace has maintained its silence. The official manner of Charles, which is formal and duty-bound, is exemplified by the carriage that is seen above, which is taking the king to a state function in 2023. There is strain in personal relationships. Harry has expressed that some members of his family will never forgive me for writing a book. This statement gives the impression that Charles and William, who were presented in a negative light in Spare, are not likely to quickly overcome their differences. Contrary to the dramatic accusations that Charles ever questioned the existence of Archie or Lilibet or requested DNA evidence of their paternity, there is no impartial source that substantiates these assertions. Only internet reports devoid of sources present such allegations. It is necessary to approach them as unsubstantiated rumors since there is no proof that can be considered reliable or confirmation from the palace. Complaints and the controversy regarding the title. In conjunction with the interview, there has been a lot of discussion on whether or not Harry's children should use royal titles. According to the established norm, male-line descendants of the sovereign are eligible to be princes or princesses. However, the regulations have certain specific peculiarities that must be taken into consideration. In 1917, King George V issued a letters patent that confined royal titles to the children of the sons of the sovereign, also known as male-line grandsons. This patent is considered to be a significant source of legal precedent. Archie, who was born in 2019, and Lilibet, who was born in 2021, were theoretically great-grandchildren of the sovereign during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. However, according to the law that was in place in 1917, they did not immediately qualify as prince and princess. However, Elizabeth did use her prerogative in 2012 by issuing fresh letters patent announcing that all of Prince William's children would be princes or princesses. Prior to that, only his oldest son, Prince George, would have been considered to be a prince or princess. This modification was solely applicable to William's line, and it did not apply to Harry's. In 1917, King George V issued a decree that restricted princely titles to male-line grandsons of the sovereign. According to the most recent information, Queen Elizabeth II issued a directive in December 2012 stating that all offspring of Prince William, who is the heir, will be styled prince or princess. Influence of the succession in 2022. Following Charles's accession to the throne in September 2022, William and Harry were acknowledged as the sovereign's sons. Since it was the case, Archie and Lilibet Charles were entitled to have grandchildren. When they reached that threshold, they fulfilled the requirements to be eligible for the titles of Prince and Princess of Sussex. In point of fact, those who specialize in royal procedure and the media have pointed out that Archie and Lilibet are now eligible to hold princely titles. According to an explanation provided by Time magazine, both Lilibet and Archie are entitled to the titles of princess and prince as grandchildren of the sitting monarch of the United Kingdom. In a similar vein, the Associated Press noted that as a result of Charles's ascension, William and Harry are the king's sons, which means that their offspring are now royal grandchildren and are therefore entitled to be known as prince and princess. The names Prince Archie of Sussex and Princess Lilibet of Sussex were added to the official website of Buckingham Palace in March 2023. Prior to this, the titles Master and Miss were used to refer to the two individuals when they were listed on the website. According to a statement made by a spokesperson of Harry and Meghan to People magazine, the children's titles have been a birthright ever since their grandpa became king. A resolution has been reached on this subject. In accordance with Buckingham Palace, the public opinion and the voices of the media are split on whether or not it is suitable to give the titles, despite the fact that this legal right exists. One example is a survey conducted by YouGov and published by IB Times in March 2023. The results showed that 51% of British citizens believed that Archie and Lilibet should not be granted the titles of prince or princess, while just 25% were in favor of the idea. In contrast, a survey conducted in the United States revealed that the majority of respondents believe that children need to be given titles. However, the results of that survey have not been independently verified for this article. The opinions of royal commentators have also been expressed, and they are different. Richard Fitzwilliams, a veteran analyst, said in an interview with the Washington Post that even though Charles was on the throne, he would have expected the situation to be clarified and that Archie and Lilibet should have been offered royal titles. Katie Nicholl, a writer for the royal family, made the observation that Charles has mentioned the concept of a slimmed-down monarchy. She also indicated that he would attach restrictions, sometimes known as a caveat, to any titles or perhaps delete them altogether, citing instances from other royal families. Then possibly Archie and Lilibet are not going to get these titles, she said, referring to the possibility that the United Kingdom would transition to a monarchy that is more streamlined. In any event, every official source emphasizes that the sovereign has the authority to decide for themselves whether or not to alter titles. According to the statement made by the Associated Press, under the reign of Elizabeth, the children of Harry and William were not automatically princes. The only thing that may change this regulation is a sovereign's letters patent. However, as of right now, the titles in issue are in accordance with the regulations that have been in place for a very long time. Charles has the legal authority to confirm or amend titles by issuing fresh letters patent. Claims of insider information and DNA rumors. The discussion over the title is based on historical precedents. However, the more lurid accusations that are circulating online, such as the assertion that King Charles requested DNA testing or questioned the existence of his grandchildren, do not have a source that can be verified. Various tabloids and social media platforms have spread the rumor that Prince Charles was shocked to learn about Harry's children or that he wanted evidence of their legitimacy as parents. Such occurrences have not been mentioned by any major news media. Researchers and journalists from the royal family warn that these stories originated on fringe websites with anonymous insiders. In point of fact, there is no mention of DNA or doubt in any of the credible coverage of the interview. As an instance, the sole criticism that was recorded by Reuters was Harry's assertion that the king won't speak to me because of this security stuff. There is no evidence to suggest that the king inquired about the paternity of Archie and Lilibet or demanded any documents about their legal status as Harry's offspring. Those rumors have not been addressed by the palace in any way. On the other hand, as was said before, comments that accord with the palace have simply handled the titles of the grandchildren as if they were determined to be resolved. Because there is no evidence to support these spectacular charges, it is necessary to consider them to be unsubstantiated rumors rather than facts. The family rift and the character of Prince William. Similar to Prince Harry, Prince William, the Prince of Wales, has not provided any public response to the interview that Harry gave. Both Harry and Kate have refrained from making any direct comments on either the title's problem or Harry's words. On the other hand, some royal experts have characterized William as being steadfast in his commitment to safeguarding the monarchy in media criticism. An analyst named Hilary Fordwich was reported by Fox News as suggesting that the gulf has widened between Prince Harry and Prince William as a result of Harry's public comments. Another pundit by the name of Ian Pelham Turner said in a direct manner to Fox News that the simple answer, will William forgive Harry and Meghan and welcome them back? An unequivocal and resounding no. These items are not remarks made directly by the Prince of Wales. Rather, they are pieces of opinion. In spite of this, they create the impression that William is not interested in reconciling with Harry on his terms, which is particularly noticeable in light of the discoveries that Harry has made. Many people believe that Harry is alluding to William and Kate when he says, "Of course, some members of my family will never forgive me for writing a book." Harry expresses this sentiment in his own words. Both William's formal responsibilities, as shown in the image above, which was taken during Trooping the Color, and his young family have remained his primary concerns. There has been no open discussion of Harry's predicament here. Continuity and seclusion are prioritized throughout the castle. Another writer made a funny suggestion that William may have privately pleaded with President Trump not to deport Harry by asking, Please, for the love of God, don't send him back. This is just one example of the conjecture that has been connected to William in relation to Harry's recent visa news in the United States. This tale, which was published on GB News, is a reference to a statement made by Trump himself, in which he said that he would not deport Harry because he has enough disputes with his difficult wife. Once again, this narrative is based on speculation, and there is no evidence to support the claim that William was involved. Rather, it is an informal rumor that is being passed off as gossip. Prince William is not linked to any immigration or financial difficulties that involve Harry, according to any government source. In point of fact, when questioned about Harry's legal appeal, Buckingham Palace just said that the case was currently being heard in the courts and did not provide any other observations or opinions. Palace and the reactions of the media. Buckingham Palace has, for the most part, let the formal procedure and various remarks made by Harry speak for themselves. In addition to the statement made by the court, the most recent step taken by the palace regarding titles was to discreetly update its website, as was said, and to maintain normal norms. A statement issued in 2022 during the period of mourning underlined that nothing has been decided or said about Archie and Lilibet's titles during that time period. To put it another way, there was no sudden royal edict issued during that period of time. Since then, their styles were modified without much fanfare by the month of March in 2023. It is customary for the palace to maintain the confidentiality of personal family matters. Therefore, it has refrained from responding to charges made in the media or taking a public stance on this conflict. The coverage of these stories in the media has been presented in a variety of approaches. There have been serious sources that have focused on Harry's personal and legal remarks, as well as the constitutional facts concerning titles and the responses of the general public. As an example, news organizations such as Reuters, the Associated Press, and the BBC published Harry's statements and referred to the legal precedents for the children's titles. Broadcasters and newspapers also incorporated expert comments and polls. IB Times and Newsweek explored the mixed public opinion, while royal columnists analyzed scenarios in which the monarchy might be reduced in size. Pundits from talk shows and tabloids have also made significant contributions. Piers Morgan and other such personalities have insulted Harry and Meghan, while others, like commentators from Fox News, have encouraged William to be harsh. Despite the fact that these voices are meant to be interpreted as opinions, they demonstrate the divided views. In a nutshell, Prince Harry expressed his sadness in his most recent interview that he was unable to bring Meghan and the children back to the United Kingdom, owing to security concerns. His statements have not been mirrored by official royal spokesmen, and King Charles and Prince William continue to maintain a public status of non-committal commitment. Regarding the topic of Archie and Lilibet's titles, the law is very clear. Since they are male-line descendants of the sovereign, they are entitled to the titles of Prince and Princess, according to the letters patent that was issued in 1917. A discreet acknowledgement of this privilege was made by the palace in the year 2023. In spite of the fact that some experts have questioned whether or not it would be wise or appropriate to confer these honors to the children of the Sussex family, others say that it would be incongruous to reject them. The most crucial thing to note is that all of the dramatic accusations that Charles questioned his grandkids or requested DNA confirmation don't have any supporting evidence. As stated by a source associated with the palace, Archie and Lilibet's titles have been a birthright, settled for some time, for a considerable amount of time. It is possible to disregard these rumors due to the absence of any proof to the contrary. As far as the official record is concerned, Harry's children are prepared to use their royal titles, and King Charles and Prince William have opted to react to Harry's interview with prudence rather than with public reprisal. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts, and goodbye for now.